right. Never quite know. There we go. We're live. Hey everyone, Jon Bobrow here. Welcome back to another one of our lunchtime live streams. Today, I'm all decked out in my Move 38 gear. Got our Blinx banner up, and I hope you're excited too, because right now, today is the very first day of Global Game Jam all around the world. And so if you're tuning in, I see our regulars. Hey Lee, hey Mike, welcome back. If you're tuning in and joining us for the Global Game Jam, this is it's an event that's like, number one, first of all, we just love it at Move 38. Number two, it's the best opportunity to try your hand at making a game if you've never made one before. And so today on the live stream, I'm going to share a bit about the resources that Move 38 has created to help you make your very first game. Even if you've made a game before, hopefully these resources continue to be more and more helpful. And the other thing is that in our description down below, you can check for the links for some of these resources as well. So, if you're not aware, this year's Global Game Jam is happening all remote. It's official kickoff with Playcrafting, the official site that we're sponsoring, is kicking off tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and you can tune in on Twitch. I know I'll be watching. So the event kicks off today, and it wraps on Sunday. So there's typically the game jam is about 48 hours. We've found that most people making Blinx games are able to actually get something put together in sometimes as few as 12 hours. Some of our favorite games have come from very short game jams, but 48 is the perfect amount of time to find a team, ideate, and so really excited about the event. Happy to answer any questions about it. This Saturday at 10 a.m., myself and Dan, our game design lead, are going to be doing a walkthrough, a workshop for making Blinx games. So come with all your great questions, and we'll be sure to be answering them live in the live stream. And we're going to work through making a game together. So it's definitely possible to break out Blinx and in the course of an hour put together a game to start testing out. So without any further introduction, I also want to give a shout out to any of our Kickstarter backers that are tuning in. Our Kickstarter shipments are continuing to roll out. One thing that I'd like to note is that we did ship what we have arriving, and we're shipping in multiple shipments. So if you have a partial shipment, no need to worry. The next batch that is arriving from our manufacturer will continue to fill out that balance. So we want to make sure you got Blinx in your hands as early as possible. And so just wanted to let everybody know that we've got more Blinx arriving from our manufacturer over the coming months, and we're excited to be getting those out. So let's see. I'm going to switch over here. All right. Oh, Alfred noticed my Blink watch. That's a little Easter egg there. I can share more on that later. This is how I've been keeping my breath at the right pace during the day. So let me switch over to, I think this is the right screen. Cool. So the very first resource I want to share with you is the new Blinx developer resources. And so if you're wondering how you get to them, you can get to them by move38.com/let's do this. And that's the same place we send you with your developer kits. And so for anybody interested in making a Blinx game, developer kit or not, that's the place to go. And I'll just lower this down so you can see the address. Let's see, move38.com, let's do this. And so just by going to that address, oh, did that take us there? Oh, pretty good. We'll see that load up. So these are our new Blinx developer resources. And Dan, Elizabeth, Marty, the whole team has really been coming together. I mean, Dan really led this operation in putting together these updated docs for everybody. And so, of course, when you get a developer kit, the Getting Started page is the right spot to start off. There's a video walkthrough of getting started with your Blinx developer kit, what's in the box, installing Arduino. So all the things you need if you just got a developer kit, that's right here. I'm going to go back to hardware information. So one of the things that you might be curious to know about is, okay, like what's in a developer kit? Well, here's the breakdown of the tools inside. And if you have some older developer kits, this is where documentation's going for the different versions of the developer kits. And if you need some more developer tools, you can, of course, we link you to those as well. Our Blinx API reference, so this is really cool. I'm going to open this up as a full page here. So a lot of work has gone into this, and I'm actually going to stretch this out a little bit. And I think I can make some space on my screen over here. Cool. So our new Blinx API reference is something that I think is going to be really helpful for people making Blinx games to be able to quickly see how functions work and get examples of how to use them. So if I click on Set Color, it's going to take me directly to this part where it describes what it does. So it displays a color on the entire blink. The syntax, it shows exactly how to use it. The parameter it takes, so a color is either from one of our defined, or you can create with a color function. And so here's an example code. And I guess we could have an alternative, for example, here that shows, make color RGB. But this way, at least when you get up and running and you're curious how something is used, you can see exactly how these functions are used. And then there's these nice convenience links here, so back to top. And everything that you need in the Blinx library, so if I want to learn about communication, I can go to set value, set on all faces, and I can see here, okay, cool. This is how this is how I'm sending that value. It looks like I need to send the value 10 if bomb is true. So maybe maybe that's a snippet from Bomb Brigade. So I think these new docs are really wonderful. Big shout out to the Move 38 summer interns that started this work. And then Dan really bringing this into making it live on the website for the Game Jam. We want to make sure everybody could really get into the docs and navigate easily. Let's see. So I'm going to pop back to the main page on the resource, and you can see it should actually format quite nicely, whether you're on your phone or on the desktop. You can see it reformatted a bit here. I'm actually going to shrink it over a bit. There we go. Let's do this. Oh, not sure what happened. There we go. And so let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna keep going. So we've taken a look at the API reference. And then, there are these great tutorials that the team's created. Dan walks through how to get a blink blinking, how to use timing functions, the different types of button presses, basic communication, advanced communication. This is really a great place to start if you're making your first Blinx game. This doesn't show you how to make a game, but it does show you how to use the different features of Blinx. And so that brings me to our next resource, which is game design resources. So you might be wondering, okay, what are the kinds of, how have games come to be? what are the ways I can think about making games? And so we've got some links to our blog posts. And one of the things actually I'd like to share today is that one of the neatest things about making a Blinx game is the fact that because you're working with physical components and digital components, in my opinion, some of the best game design happens away from the computer when you're thinking about what the physical interaction is and how people are going to have fun with it. And so this year's Game Jam theme is hide and seek, and it was announced on, I believe, Tuesday. It'll be officially announced tonight. And so the moment I saw hide and seek announced, I had some ideas for games that I'd like to make. And I think on this stream what I'd like to do is share with you how I'd actually go about that. And so it is helpful to know first the capabilities of Blinx. It can help inform some of your design decisions. But something that I think is really common and really helpful with designing anything is starting with paper prototyping. And so, there's also some posts here on theming and color in Blinx game design. And if you have things or suggestions that you'd like to add to this, one of the things that we did here is this is really just the start. So if you'd like to suggest that there's something here that you'd like to see, you have the ability to actually comment on it. So actually, let me try that again. I can open that page, and then I can, if I have a Notion account, I can go ahead and comment on this page. And so we figured some of you might want to make suggestions on additions to the doc. Of course, you can drop them in the forum as well. So let's see. Let me just scan through. I'm going to scan through a couple of more pieces of the resources. So our art resources. Love this Ratatouille quote. So, don't feel intimidated. There's some really beautiful artwork on the Blinx games. But some of the recent artwork designed by our designer, Elizabeth, other game art designed by Big Potato with their beautiful Tiptoe Volcano, and Paintbrush by Carol and Mary. And so there's like really good examples of Blinx game art. But the cool thing about this is we've got the tools here, so the templates, and some tips on making the game art work. And one of the most important things we stress is that it should be legible. These are pretty small. If you're going to print it out and put it on the back of the label, you want the game title to be legible. So, and then we have some guidelines for the artwork and the templates attached here. So you can download the game art template and also a rendering to make your very own icon like this. Let's see. Oh, did I say it was hide and seek? I revealed the game that I was thinking about. So the theme is lost and found. Ooh, I should be really careful. I don't want to influence anybody's thinking about that. Lost and found is is the exact theme. Thanks, Alfred. And the game idea that I was going to share with everybody here is a game that the game idea I came up with was a hide and seek inspired game. I don't think that's the direction. I think there are lots of directions to go. Let's see. So the other aspects, so other items in here, we've got publishing resources. So let me bring this up a little bit. So our publishing resources. So a lot of people ask, what are you looking for in a Blinx game? How do you get your game published on Blinx? And so here's the documentation of the kinds of things that you need to arrive at for the Blinx team to be able to review your game, play the game, things that are likely to make it publishable. And so also the information on how to submit a game, We'll continue to add more information here. All of the resources are public about how we publish games and the revenue share that our game designers receive when having a game published on Blinx. And then, of course, our social media links. You're going to want to share what you make for this global game jam. Don't wait to share the final thing. Share process, ask questions, create polls, have people vote on what you are making and ways to help out. I think there's no better way to make a great game than by having lots of input, lots of feedback from people who are playing your game. And the further out you can get from your best friends, the better the feedback you're going to get. You're going to see how people interact with what you're making and be able to make decisions based on that. I know in these remote circumstances that you might think, John, that's a little bit tricky to do. I'm trapped inside my apartment right now because of the pandemic. Well, we've really put a lot of effort into making this nice and easy, and I think it's going to be such a great experience. So let me share some of our other resources. So a resource that we announced pretty recently was the Blinx Simulator, and I will just share a little bit about that here. So I'll refresh. So when you arrive at the simulator, this is a tool that allows you to run most code that you could run on Blinx. It's not perfect for everything, but most of the games will work just fine. It's a perfectly fine place. Any game you do make in the simulator should run, well, I should qualify that a bit. Most games you would make in the simulator will be quite easy to simply grab the code from here and give it to someone with a developer kit, and you can collaborate. So we're really, really recommending that people who have developer kits at home team up with somebody who doesn't have a developer kit but wants to make a game. And you can be working together and even running the same code in the simulator. So here I can bring up one of the example games. Here's our game Barry. The simulator works by drawing a line to split the blinks. That way you can break them apart. And then you can drag them around. You can see where they attach. And so depending on what kind of game you're making, you can at least test some of the code and visuals here. Maybe somebody can be working on the visuals for your game while somebody else is working on the logic, and while somebody else is working with paper prototypes trying to get, their family to play simple, a version of the game. So this is the simulator, and let's see. I wonder. I actually haven't tried this yet. I always like trying new things on our live stream. So what I wanted to also share is that another great resource is the forum. So in the Move38 forum, there's lots of people sharing all their progress, questions, game ideas. You can be sharing your game idea or even collaborate with a team member here as well. So the forum is a fine place. For more real-time interaction, definitely use the Discord. So the Discord is going to have Move38 team members there, monitoring, available to respond, and you'll also be able to connect with the whole global game jam community for on that playcrafting Discord. So be sure to check that out. And once again, those links are in the description down below. So I'm going to search for something. I want to count the number of blinks. So let's see. Yes. So yet another distributed counting algorithm. So one of the things that was a common question was, how do you know how many blinks are in a group? And so there's a bunch of different ways to approach this. But here's one nice one. Let's see if this... This is actually my first time trying this in the simulator, so this is a simple counter demo. And let's see, I'm going to copy the code from it, and then I'll share my game idea. So I'm going to copy this code. I'm going to go over to the simulator, copy. Oh, can I delete all that? I'm going to paste that code in. I'm going to press run code. Okay. So in this, let's see. In this bit of code, oh, we might be using some variables that, let's see, are not recognized by our simulator. This is pretty legible, it looks like, but I think I saw one thing that we might not know what to do with called unsigned. So I'm going to change that to byte. Actually, let's do word, and let's see if that helps. Try one more. Run code. Okay. Here's our loop. This all looks good, so we're running the code. And let's actually just make sure that our code is running by setting the color up here in our setup. So let's try this out. So set color red. We'll just start out red. Okay. I got a little too ambitious. So this code runs perfectly well on the Blinx, which is great. And Josh likely is using, there might be, oh, I see. There might be a couple of things that aren't defined here. So for example, the 5-bit brightness here might not be defined, which might confuse the simulator. Okay, well, I'll have to debug this after. But the game idea that, yeah, and so the Blinx are running, but it looks like the code's not perfect for the simulator here. So that's, you know, definitely, like I said, you can use the simulator for trying out some of the animations or prototyping, but it's definitely a work in progress. And maybe some of you can also help us improve the simulator as well, so something like this just works. So I think this is going to be a really useful tool, and me and Elon Musk falling suspect to the live demo. I knew it was going to be risky to try this algorithm in the simulator. But so my idea for a game actually doesn't rely on code so much. I knew that this algorithm was shared, that it can count the number of Blinx in a group, and the idea I had for a game, and I'll grab my Blinx here. And I think, you know, some people like to have their idea and like, okay, I'm just going to heads down, go for it. You know, I think feel free to, if you want to find people to collaborate on your idea, feel free to share it. I like that method. I feel like it gets some good ideas bubbling. If you're just gung-ho on an idea, dig in, create a tunnel for yourself, and get in. Make sure you pop up for air and share progress. And so let me switch over to my top down. So my idea for a game was I wanted to make a really simple game. And I mentioned the theme is lost and found. And the first thing I thought about was, I was like, well, Blinx are kind of easy to lose under furniture, especially if you're dropping them or bringing them around. And so I thought, well, maybe a fun game would be to make a game where people have to actually find the lost Blinx. And so if this is somebody else's idea, now you're going to have to find a new one or make it better, actually. So the idea was that when the game starts out, I double-click a blink, and it counts the number of blinks in that cluster. And now my job as the hider is I'm going to hide these blinks somewhere. And I'm going to hide them maybe around our home, and I'm going to challenge my partner Jamie to find them. And so when she finds them, she brings them back, and she clusters them together. So the blinks know how many blinks were in a group, and when she's finding them, she doesn't know how many were hidden. And so she's going to, the blinks know, okay, 4 out of 5 are found, 6 out of 5 are found, and then when all of them are found, the blinks can celebrate their reward. That was my idea. I thought it was just kind of a fun game. Hide them, let the blinks know when the win condition is met. And the way I was going to approach that was really by just grabbing, copy and pasting a piece of code that counts the blinks, and then starting to think about the part that I enjoy so much is, okay, what do blinks do when they're hidden or found, or when they attach, and what's going to make that really delightful? And then I feel like so much of that game is in the written rules rather than the coding, since the coding might be one portion of it, but the other part is, okay, what's the theming around it? Why are we looking for these blinks? What kind of artwork can I create to support it? And so all of these components that are so important to a Blinx game and games in general in building a world. And so if you're thinking of participating in the Global Game Jam and you're like, well, I don't have any coding experience, great. You're such a huge asset to any team to be able to help out and to create the environment for a Blinx game and help with the theming. And there's so many aspects that I think are, one of the games from last year's Global Game Jam that we published, Pirates and Lasers, was a team of 4. And the team of 4 hadn't worked together before. One of the team members was strictly a graphic artist. She said, I don't want to program, but how do I contribute art here? And she made such a wonderful, not only did she make like the logo art, but they also had these incredible instructions that were themed to be pirate themed. And then they made a game mat, a custom game mat, which I think I have one. I've got my dark ball mat out in front of me. But there's so many components that I think are really add to the game experience. So definitely we're really excited. I'm not one of the judges, but the playcrafting judges will be judging the game not just on game mechanics, but the whole experience. At the end of the day, it's about having fun, experiencing something new, giving people new perspective. So definitely think outside of the box with the game jam, and start small. Start with something that you can make quickly. It's not unheard of. We had one of our game jammers, Brett Taylor, made 3 games in the course of the game jam for Blinx, 2 of which actually went on to be published on the game system. So there's nothing to stop you from experimenting with short digestible games, and then biting off something bigger a little bit later. Let's see. Awesome. Brian noticed my actual blink. I think this is, I'll be curious to, this is my new bling, and I'm feeling pretty psyched about my bling. But it's, I figured this way, I'm never at a loss. I've always got my latest sketch on me. If you think that's pretty cool, feel free to let me know in the comments. I'm actually at night when I'm riding my bike. It's been really cool for visibility as well. Well, let's see. I think that's a lot of the items I wanted to cover. I'll switch back over to our Blinx developer resources. Of course, it's not too late to join in on the Game Jam. If you didn't sign up, you can still sign up, and you're able to actually sign up right up until the submissions go in. And let me take a quick look at, let's see, so we covered the simulator. I talked about our Discord and all of the amazing community members in our Discord. I showed the forum where you can post questions and get help working there as well. And our latest addition, which is these, updated resources page, which I'm just going to share that again. I think, oh, no, that's not it. That's the one I want. And so once again, this is our updated resources page. And yeah, once again, we love your feedback on this and hope that this, especially the API reference, really excited for people to have a chance to use these new tools, or better yet, use these references to help navigate the tools and use them better. So I think, unless there are any questions from the live stream, I'm going to wrap our stream for the day. And, once again, this is, Global Game Jam is one of my favorite times of the year. We've got hundreds of game jammers signed up for the Playcrafting Game Jam. There's over 30 mentors signed up to help with Blinx games. Thank you so much. It's really going to be so exciting to see game designers from our game community helping other game designers make their games. Myself and the Move 38 team, we're going to be around this weekend, checking on the Discord as well, so feel free to reach out there. I'll be on specifically on Saturday, and yeah, I think if if you're hesitant or on the fence, or you're not sure if you have enough time, just join us for an hour. Check it out. Pop in. You'd be surprised what you can make. And I'm looking forward to seeing and playing all of the games from this year's Game Jam. So thanks so much for joining today. And I will see you tonight at 6 p.m. and Saturday at 10 a.m. We'll see you soon. Later, everyone.